All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Voice of SINOE in the Diaspora with ESOTERIC. We'll have a wonderful show coming your way. So as you join the show, please share the link for us. We would highly appreciate it. I do a little commercial here while we do everything to bring our guests on here, special guests on the platform this afternoon from my end. All right, so let's go ahead and do some little entertainment as we share the link for us to bring our guests on. All right, let's see here what we got musically.
If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love.
T'as fini ma bébé la où est fao. T'as fini ma bébé la où est fao. Quand on de la boue où est fao. Go, my baby, la où est fao. I let you power. I can never leave you on the highway. You my baby. As I do, c'est tout. C'est tout.
If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love.
Photo, I want a photo. I will not get you photo. I will not get you photo. Photo, I'm not get photo. I want a photo, let me take a photo, yeah. Smile for me, that place up for me. Tell me now who I want to be with. T'as fini ma bébé la où est fao. T'as fini ma bébé la où est fao. Quand on de la boue où est fao. Go, my baby, la où est fao. I let you power. I can never leave you on the highway. You my baby. As I do, c'est tout.
If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love.
the rappers come. Get him over. Like the sun you can hear when I'm bouncing on the head. Anytime I call you, papa, you forced to show your face. I'm a 2x2 and shower my piggy. You think I had to play and failure. We not speaking like me and success can phone. They get me up, they bring me down, but stay I'm bouncing. Jala ganga boy, I'm bouncing on my haters. I can bounce, Jala loma boy. Shout out to my market, Oma, and shout out to all my yana boy. They say I rule, but at the end of the day, I can pray to Papa God. Who say I finish your turn and say they can't spot. There is time in my piggy, but you won't cry. And I got nothing, my people, I stay on. The day I pump it, I will know before I post to Mama Jack.
I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Zona, zona. Eba, zona, zona. Zona, I'm on bounce on you again. 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 I'm on bounce on you again.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not for us. I said no one to trust. My people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow? There's the things don't be. You see, we just tell you. That's why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Voice of SINOE in the Diaspora with Esoteric. I'm happy to have my special guest with me here today. I have a special guest, my own brother, Jerry Massaquoi. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so Mr. Jerry Massaquoi is my special guest this afternoon. I'm getting feedback from the device. All right. A wonderful guy. He's the vice presidential candidate for Bomi County Association in Americas. Jerry is my guest. So please, as you get on, I want you to share his backstage right now so that we can have a conversation with the brother. Let's see what's going on in Nbcaa. They call it, I think it's the abbreviation for the Bomi County Association. All right, so before I bring my guests on here, let's do quickly, Mr. Massaquoi, if you don't mind, let me just do quick little basic thing out of the way here so that to get some little commercial out there to my viewers. All right, so just quick reminder again, we want to keep reminding you until the day reaches. So the date, the president of the Support Association in America, so President Francis Miles, her inauguration is coming up. It's set for March the 5th, 2022. So we are asking you to save that date for that big program. Also, we also want to remind you on the 14th of this month, I think it will be on a Saturday or Sunday, one of them, the president will also be on the platform to talk to us. You know, since she was elected, she hasn't addressed the union. And so the 14th of this month, President Francis Miles will be our special guest to address the union on an array of prevailing issues in the union. All right, so you got to save the date. One more thing here before I bring my guests on that I want to do. We just want to do a quick shout out to our Queen Delaware Valley chapter. Queen Ora Willett is celebrating her birthday today. So we want to also do a shout out to her. Let's see here, our Queen here. So this is Queen Ora Willett. She is celebrating her birthday today. She turned, I was told she turned 14 today. All right, so Queen, we want to say happy birthday to you from the office of the president, the board of directors, and all the members in the union, as well as Voice of SINOE. We want to say happy birthday to you. We wish you many, many more years to come and the best life has to offer. All right, so that's our Queen Delaware Valley chapter, Queen Ora Willett right there, celebrating your birthday today. You can call her to wish her happy birthday. Let's see. All right, so let me go to my special guest here. We have time constraint, I'm quite sure. So let me just bring my guest on here so we can have the interaction. But before I bring the man on here, let me show you who I'm talking about. You know, Jerry Massaquoi, our own brother. Yeah, Jerry Massaquoi is our special guest today. on the platform. We'll be talking about a lot of things that are going on within the Bomi County Association and stuff of that nature. So share the link for us so that you can hear from Jerry Massaquoi, very brilliant young man. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to bring my guest on camera right now for you. Let me bring that picture down before I bring him on, the real man. All right, Jerry, welcome on board. I think you're kind of way down. You want to adjust your seat a little bit, see? Well, yeah, you are all the way down. Are you hearing me? Hello? He's not hearing me. Hey, Jerry, are you hearing me?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, good.
Are you hearing me?
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing you.
Is there a way you can adjust the seat? You're all the way down.
Oh,
yeah. The camera, if you can adjust the camera, very good. So yeah, you're carrying it up earlier, so it'll be better. Let me see what I can bring it down while you're settling that. Let me see.
Is it better?
It's a little better. It could be better than that. Yeah, to carry up a little bit more.
Is that okay?
You can come on this side. On this side.
Oh, okay.
Right. Good. Perfect.
All right. Let me move the other chair. Hold on a minute.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see that he gets set up back there. Yeah. When he gets situated, I'll bring him back on. So, Manapoa say happy birthday to our queen, Ora.
Better?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Jerry, welcome on board. Welcome to Voice of Sound. I think it's your second time on the platform. Is that correct?
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All right, you're beaming with smile. That's cool. I like to see that.
Thank you. How you doing?
Is it possible to elevate your camera again a little bit? I think you're still a little down or lower. I think it's a camera position. You have to maybe elevate a little bit. Yeah. No, you're all the way down now.
All the way down.
Yeah.
Let me see.
All right. Perfect. Yeah.
Right.
Now we.
Okay.
Look.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
All right. So Jerry, I'm happy to have you on. You are somebody, I think you're a breath of fresh air. You know, when you talk, I like to listen because I get wisdom and knowledge from you. So how are you today? How are things from your end?
I'm good. I'm good, sir. Thank you. How you doing?
Yeah. How's the family?
We doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Sorry for bothering you, but you had to come this way on my. Yeah. Okay. Because the logo was on your face. Good. You're perfect now.
Okay.
Yeah. The logo. Okay. Good. All right, so Mr. Massaquoi, I was at your program the other day, the National Convention of the Bomi County Association, and I thought it was a wonderful experience. I need to get things from another perspective to cover other people how to do things, and I learned a little bit from it. But you were the opposition candidate. Yeah, I think I saw you in the hall and all of that. So, but before we go into all of that. Maybe you want to introduce yourself to the audience, to the viewers, so that they can know who Jerry Massaquoi is.
Yeah. Thank you, Sir Paulette. Thank you for having me on your show. And we really appreciate all of the good work you do in the community. You're one of those guys, my support brother, I really admire, you know.
Thank you.
Coming in different level. Thank you for covering Tico's funeral. You know, most people follow you throughout the funeral, and you did extremely well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, my name is Jerry Massaquoi, and I was born in Tubman-Borough, Bomi County, to George Massaquoi, and my mother is Jeanette Conley. My father is from Kidman, and my mother is from a district called Clay. And so I was 2 weeks old when my parent took me to another big town called South, and that's where I spent most of my early childhood days. Before then, I moved to Monrovia at age 7, and then fast forward, I went to school, Monrovia demonstration, seminarist, then later on traveled to Ghana and then to the United States. I became an entrepreneur at age 11, and I became a leader at the same time because I was, managing other people buying, selling, and trying to move some of my friends around to do business the right way. And since then, I have been a businessman, and I'm still a businessman. I'm married to my lovely wife, Winnie Hubbard-Massaquoi. We have 5 beautiful children. My oldest daughter is out of college. She worked with Vanguard. So then, as part of my story, I'm also a United States licensed coach. I'm a software engineer, and I'm a businessman. And I'm here to make my case on this going weekend elections, what really happened. Thank you.
All right, excellent. I mean, I heard you're a businessman. What sort of business are you into?
Well, I'm the co-founder of Prototype Information Solutions, and I'm also the founder of JMAT Logistics. We build applications for companies, for businesses, based on my experience working with investment scorecard and Informat. So when I moved up in the East Coast about 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, I joined a friend called George Unuma, and then we started our own computer business. And then I later on then decided to get into logistics. So I set up JMAT Logistics, which has been existing for the past 10, 12 years. These two companies are successful. JMAT Logistics, we recruit, we train, we hired, we put people to work through Amazon. And that's some of what I do.
Okay, excellent. Okay. All right, so but before you, again, I know we come to Bomi today, but I want to get a little background of you. So with respect to Liberia, what are you engaged in? Liberia, you have projects going on there, you have business or something going on there in Liberia too as well?
Well, I have been very private on the things that I do back home because I'm someone who I don't believe if you help a fellow human being to, make some benefit of why you try to help people. So all along for the past over 20 years, I have been carrying on a lot of projects in Liberia that I've kept on the down low and not try to blow my own horn and advertise it. So I would like for it to stay like that. But just to please the audience is I am, my wife and I are working on a couple of projects that I would not want to actually go through here.
Okay.
There's a guy who's working on a lot of documentary for me. I prefer someone else to say those things for me.
Okay, the reason I'm asking, you were vice presidential candidate on the bombing of Madam, is that Hubbard?
Yes, Dr. Hubbard.
Yeah, so somebody will want to know, but who is this guy? That's why we're asking. To see, because you want to be one of the leaders for Bomi County in the U.S. So then they want to know what impact you have back home, or what are you doing, stuff of that nature.
Well, yeah, just for the past 15 years, I have provided scholarship for dozens of students throughout LU. Some of them are currently working with the Liberian government. I've also built homes for people, some family members, and I'll continue to build homes for people. Right now, one of the biggest projects I'm about to undertake is to build a dormitory, which is already in the making. Because Grand Bassa Community College was just upgraded to a university, so I'm trying to get in there and do what I can do. There are projects I'm working on. I wouldn't like to say, but I have a corporation in Liberia called Zemuai Incorporated, and so with time I will put up some of my things. Or you need to follow Henry Collins. He got some documentaries on me.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. All right, guys, if you're joining us, my special guest is Jerry Massaquoi. He's the vice presidential candidate for Nbcaa. So that's the Bomi County, or National Bomi County Association in the Americas. All right, so Jerry, let's get to business here. What brought you out? What's going on?
Well, one of the things that brought me out is to appeal to the community, to especially my Sapo people, my friends in the community that I'd reached out to during our campaign, that were willing and able to help us in our quest to lead Bomi. And most of you guys agreed to help us. And, in the 11 hours, we called a shot to walk away. And I think the people that agreed to help us in the process deserve some explanation. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. So I heard what you walked away. What happened?
Well, throughout this interview, you will come to know that there are some guys in the community that don't have good intentions for the people, for the community. A charity organization should be done out of passion, not expecting something in return. And you will also find out throughout this interview that the reason we walked away, we knew from the beginning that we're going to walk away, but the strategy was to expose them before we walked away. These are guys who have been, the guys we're going against, they have been to court, not once, not twice, maybe 3 or 4 times. Right now, as we speak, they're in court for the same election fraud. They would take your money and pretend as if to say they're going to hold elections and everything is staged. They would charge your people to pay, and they won't pay a dime. And then once they take your money, they rig the elections, and then you get hit twice. 1, you don't win. 2, they take your money. So we decided to expose them, and we have to do everything in the community to stop these guys.
Jerry, you said you knew from the beginning that you were going to boycott the election, but you were talking to people to come and support you. I mean, I don't understand the strategy. Because if you knew from the beginning that you're going to boycott, why canvass for support?
Yeah, good. Sayapole, the thing here is, you see, that's why sometimes, like, I tell people, if you're going to argue with the enemy, it's good you know the enemy. For example, if you are a non-believer and you want to argue the gospel, the best thing you can do is to read the Bible first, and then you stand in a better position to argue. So we knew that these guys, they were bad in the community because I did my research. 2019, 2018, 2017, they were in court, and for the same reason, elections fraud, they took the other team $21,000. I think it was Jerry Yogba. They're still in court for that. They took Jerry Yogba and his team $21,000 and then staged election where they didn't pay a dime. You understand me? And that case is still in court. And so after I did this research, and my people really wanted to change, my people wanted me to come in to lead, and Dr. Subo and I got together. I had the back of my mind that something was not right, and we filed a series of complaints to the board. The board did nothing, and even up to the 11 hours, we filed a position statement, and the board is still trashed our position statement, So they set up just exactly what they did to Jerry Yokwa, that took them to court. They set up a deadline for our people to make payments of $150 each person to be able to vote. And for me, when I decided I was going to go in with at least 200 people, and 150 times 200 that's what, $30,000. Imagine if I have allowed my people, or I was talking to my Sapo friends to make payment, if that money was going to go to those guys, you understand me? I mean, taking our money and then raking the elections, that's too hard. So even though I knew that that's what they were up for, but the goal was to expose them and expose them to the community. And that's what we're going to do.
Okay, so when you say expose, what is your tactics for exposure? What are you doing?
Well, we are taking the airway because the guy who is behind this whole thing, I don't like to call his name because I think it gives him a lot of credence, but let me just call his name for the sake of the show. Murphy Gibson. He wants to be senator back home. He's one of those hardcore politicians from LU, and he's recruiting some of his buddies from LU, like Joe Wilson. He just brought another guy in that's him. He just brought another guy in by the name of Vani. And to my surprise, there's someone who I respected a whole lot in the community that has done a lot for the community, of Musa Willie. He was able to convince Musa Willie to join him. And these guys are becoming very criminal in the community. You understand? So
Jerry, those are strong words to call people criminals. If you're convicted of something,
I mean, if someone takes $21,000 from you and
allegedly though, I have the been declared guilty.
Eventually they will.
So, but then I think you have to be guarded with your language a little bit, because the guys in there, they have not been declared guilty for the
Yeah.
allegation you levied against them.
Yeah, granted. But if you have, okay, let me ask you, Sayapole, if you had two people to hire for a job, and this guy has been to court 3-4 times for this particular job, and you have another guy who hasn't been to court before, who will you hire?
I will hire. I mean, based on, I have to look at their resumes,
Right.
holistically.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where I'm coming from. I lived in this community for what, 12, 13 years. I have never been to court with anyone with, election money or election fraud. This is ongoing thing. You understand? So my goal is not just to form a good bombing organization or to clean the system. My goal is to expose these guys, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right, but Jerry, is one thing. I mean, exposing somebody does not necessarily change the person, though. I mean, you say you want to expose them, bring them to the media. Is that the guys they are in charge of the organization? I think your goal was to go in there to clean the system, but then you back off from the system, from the process. So the guys are in charge. So how do you effect the change that you are thinking about?
Yeah, okay. That's why you don't want me to use hard words. That's fine. But you see, when people are resolved, this is a non-profit organization. This is not like some governmental thing that is set up that I'll go in there and clean. This is something that people are free to come and go. And most of the time in these situations, in fact, there was a point in time where I wanted to file an injunction, for some legal proceeding to come and stop the process until the process is clean. My team, Dr. Sumo, said she didn't want to take that route, and so we left it. I even asked if we could bring EULA in for EULA to do some intervention, to see how best they could bring us to term. My team also rejected that. And so then I left with one option, is to get to the 11 hours and expose them. And then once I expose them, I would then move on and see how best I can, because I can literally take the organization away from them, they empower. And so my team decided to form any organization. And, people who will see the difference between what those guys are doing, what we're doing, I think they'll gravitate towards us. That's another way we can clean the system.
Okay, so but specifically with respect to the electoral process, right? I think I was in the hall, I saw you and all of that. I mean, specifically, what happened in the hall that led to your boycott?
So we've been to conventions before, and I really admire you guys. I mean, I love my Sapo people. We went to Florida, we had fun, we had conventions. We have convention not one day. We had a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was different. This convention was different. The purpose of a convention is to come together, to agree on issues, on unresolved issues, right?
Right.
We'll go to conventions for, right? Now, yes, the convention where we go to this convention, you were there. You have the president doing deliberations. He alone. He took over 20, 30 minutes, giving a deliberation without evidence, without any tangibles. These guys ran this organization for 2 years without a single financial report. Not a financial report that is backed by receipt, by bank statement, by any form of document. And that's what he was explaining when you were there. And so when we ask questions, the thing about them is that they just not disregard you, or they pretend as if to say you don't even exist. They forget that the organization is member driven. How can you go to a convention and ask questions and you don't get answer? They tell you, let's move on. You understand? So this is what is going on. If the organization is going to be membership driven, then those in power should be accountable to the members. It's not happening in this organization.
So, Jerry, in other words, are you questioning the validity of the speech from the former president?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the things he named, you said they were not valid, they were not true?
No. He did some good work. Let me be honest with you. One thing I admire about him, he's very hardworking. He's driven. He has the passion to lead. But having the passion to lead and the way to do it, approach, is two different things. Anything that is not done right, Sayapole, it's not done at all. Because at the end of the day, it's going to follow you. What this guy is showing is that he's not going to be a good leader for our county. Everything that he explained to you, he has no document to back anything. I just started an organization. I'm a corporate guy. Everything I do is documented. Everything I do has receipt because I have to convince my board. This is what I did. If we're going to have a new Liberia, then it has to start from this organization.
All right, that's deep stuff that I wish I had all the facts surrounding that. But so you say he's a good guy, he did some good stuff. I mean, what are some of the things you can point to though?
Some of what he did is that because he has a passion he wants to lead, so he will find any means necessary. For example, when he came here, this organization, National Bomi Association, was dominant. And what he did is that a couple of other guys, including myself, we mobilized people to revamp the organization. So that's one good thing. The organization is alive now, it's moving. And he engaged a lot of women, brought a lot of women on board. He kept on trying to recruit, to bring people on board, which he's very good at. He's very good at, mobilizing people to pay, to contribute financially, which of course he himself has not been putting a dime in there, which I find disingenuous, because if I'm going to lead, I will lead with example. I will lead by example. If somebody put $1, I'm going to put $2. That's the difference between us.
Okay, but you spoke of the Electoral Commission. I think Joe Wilson was the chairman, right? This guy?
Yeah.
What's the problem you have with him?
Now, this guy came to a meeting with me and board members and some of my team and the other team. At the meeting, this guy told us that Jesus Christ and Muhammad don't live with us anymore. Now, so I think about it. If you went to a meeting with a board member, or with a chairman of the election, and he tells you that, and in the same meeting, he's asking you to trust him. And this is a guy who's been to court not once, not twice, but 3 times, right? On the same election fraud. Right now, he's in court. And he's sitting in a meeting telling you that Jesus Christ and Muhammad don't live with us anymore. Will you trust him?
What does that mean, though? Did he ask him to interpret that to you?
Well, some statements explain itself. If I told you that Jesus Christ and Muhammad don't live here anymore, right? Those are the 2 perfect people that brought teachings of being pure, being just, and all that. Those guys don't live here anymore. So the people that live here, we all have problems. We all are to some degree disingenuous or not, honest. And so that's how I understood it.
Yeah, but that's your interpretation. So I think it would have been fair to him to ask him to explain what he meant. Because if you look at the characters that you mentioned, for example, Jesus was breaking stuff in the synagogue, for example. Muhammad fought some wars, over 65 or 65 wars. So it was that in that context you were speaking about, in a violent context or what? So they were not pure people. They have some flaws, those characters that he named.
Right.
So that why it requires explanation when somebody sees some of these things.
Yeah, the flow and time was given to him to explain himself. But not only that, so I keep going back. These guys been in court 3 times for this same election thing. Do you think I should take my people money and give it to them $30,000 and then I end up in court again for the 4th time?
Yeah, but Jerry, my problem is you from the outset, from the beginning, you knew this guy was the one in charge, and yet you decided to participate in the process. So who was in charge. If I were you, I would say, what, given what I'm looking at right now, I'm not participating. But you're participating. You sign up for everything, you spend your money, but yet in the middle of the game, you say, no, these guys are not fair, I'm getting out. So I don't know. Let me see the call coming here. I don't know what somebody calling for you. Hello? Yeah, I'm on the show. I'll call you back. I told you I wanted to participate. All right. Sorry, Jerry. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's let's go back again from the beginning. Even though we knew, because these guys have record for this behavior in the community, but then, like I said, we decided that it was discussed in our meeting from the very beginning that this is all staged and it's a mockery of our organization.
But Jerry, is staged. You said the process is staged. Why participate in something that is staged, is not genuine? Why put your resources and time into it?
So we have to find a way to convince our people. There's no way under this sun I was going to count $30,000 again and give it to this guy. It just wasn't going to happen. That's what they did to Jerry or to Jerry Yokbo. It was never going to happen on my watch. That's one. Two, exactly what happened to Jerry Yokbo. These guys collected $21,000 from Jerry Yokbo, put people under the impression that their people were paying, right? The same amount that Jerry Yokbo was paying. Come to find out, their people did not pay a dime. And that's what they wanted to do to us. We walked into the convention hall. They said that they have registered 103 people. Okay, I registered 200 people. Obviously, I'm going to win, right?
Right.
If you want to register 103 people, that's about $15,000 plus, right?
But Jerry, registering people is another thing for the people to vote to, though. So it's one thing to register, is another thing for the people to vote.
I know, but the case I'm making here is that if they register 103 people, the money should be $15,000 plus, right? At the rate of $150 per person. Show me the money. I asked them to show the money. They couldn't show the money. So what they're trying to do is to stage it and makes it look like they have people that already pay, and I need to pay for my people because they're in control of everything.
So but Jerry, my thing is, if you are convinced that you have the numbers to win the election, why didn't you register the people you win election, you become president or you are in charge, then you go and conduct audit?
But we're never going to win.
Why? If you have the numbers?
No, we had the numbers, but we had the numbers. There's no way the guy can beat me in Philadelphia here. It's just not going to happen because I had the numbers. You understand me? What I'm saying is that these guys staged the elections. They have done it over and over. They were going to rig the elections. They were going to take our people money. We're going to hit twice. We're going to be hit twice. Take our money and rig the election. So which one you prefer? At least get hit once. Let them rig the election, but keep your money.
So this is the chairman of the Electoral Commission?
This is the convention chairman. Now what he did is that this is what he did. He told me to trust him, and I trusted him. In fact, that's what took us to the convention. He said, Jerry, trust me. He said, at the convention, I'm going to dissolve Murphy's government. I'm going to put 5 men in place, an independent council, and Murphy will no longer be in power. He told me one thing. At the convention, he did something completely different. He did not do that. You understand me? But not only that, when we wrote a series of letters to the board, including this very chairman here, complaining, about this whole process. I mean, nobody paid attention to us. So we decided, we said, okay, we're still going to go to the convention, but we're going to write a position statement. We wrote a position statement with 4 counts because the meeting in April that took us to this convention, right? That led to this convention, right? At that meeting, we decided that it was voted upon that because of the virus, right? We voted one out of 2 things. Either we have a virtual convention because we did that before, right? Okay. We had a virtual queen contest and it went very, very good. We raised over $14,000 online using Zoom. So we decided we can either vote to have a virtual convention or we can vote to have what we call a hybrid convention. The hybrid convention is where we agree that if you want to be in person, you can be in person. You want to participate online, you can participate online, right?
Right.
So when the time came for this convention, they threw that out after the people voted. So those were one of our grievances in our position statement. Because some of the people that paid to me, they couldn't make it at the convention. So we were trying to make the case that, look, we agree in a meeting that this convention will be a hybrid convention. And this particular convention chairman that you just posted up, he agreed that, Jerry, you leave it with me. That this was his exact words, quote. He said, leave it with me. At the convention, we're going to have virtual voting and we're going to dissolve Murphy's government. None of that happened at the convention. All they were trying to do was to get out at the convention, get our money, and declare themselves winners.
Yeah, but I think Willie took over though, so that means Murphy's government was dissolved, right?
No, Murphy's government should have been dissolved at the beginning of the convention. We should have set up an interim body. That interim body should have monitored or administered the entire process.
Why is that so? I mean, if you see he is still the incumbent, why dissolve his government though?
because he was manipulating the entire process. He's very dominant. You go to a meeting with Murphy, you just go in there to listen. Murphy already decide what happened at the meeting. So what you said at a meeting from the beginning, Murphy will introduce the outcome of the meeting, and at the end of the meeting, that's what you guys want to walk away with.
Yeah, but Jerry, what I'm hearing from you right now, you are saying, for example, Judge Weah is the president of Liberia, right?
Yeah.
And then going to the ballot box, you say, you know what, let Judge Weah sit down and let form an interim body. The only time you can change the man is when you elect new government. He's in power. So he has to, you guys just have to monitor the process. That's all.
True. And I agree with you. But I didn't make the rules. They made the rules. Whether they were making it to get us there to take our money, we don't know. Because everybody complained that Murphy is a problem. You understand me? If you set committees to work, if you set up a committee to work, let the committees work. Don't micromanage the committees. That's what Murphy does. Murphy was set up a convention committees, but then yes, still he's running that committee. You understand me? He will set up a membership committee, but yes, still he's the one running that. You understand me? He's running everything at the same time and putting people under the impression as if to say, you know, they're independent body working. You see? So that's how he came up with that conclusion that, look, at the convention, we'll have to put this guy aside, or else it's, you know, there's going to be a lot of problems. But not only that, do you know this guy went at the hall with armed men at the convention?
Men? Wow.
That was when I called you to come and monitor the event.
Why did he do that?
He said he took them to protect himself. Why would you take armed men to people who don't carry not in the hallway, you know, arms? Why are you bringing armed men?
Was he threatened by anybody? By somebody?
Never. We are peaceful people. The Gola people are peaceful people. The Bomi people are peaceful people. You know, we don't believe in violence. You know us. You know, so to go to the hall with armed men, that tells you we're going to imprison this guy.
But how do you know that for sure, though?
I'm telling you for sure, because I have people there. I have witnesses. It's witnesses.
They saw the guys with guns and decided to brought in by Murphy.
I personally wasn't there, but that's what I was told. That's why I was trying to work out some things when I was calling you. That's why I wanted someone to be there to monitor it.
Okay, I mean, I listened to him. I think I did a show yesterday on his report. I think it was better than what we have in the USA. But Jerry, so based on what you are saying right now, right? What is the way forward in Bomi County? I think you got some good stuff going on. Again, I listened to the president's speech. Even though you questioned some stuff he did, but you admitted that he worked. He's a hardworking guy. And I think some of the things listed there are good things. So what is the way forward? For me, I want your organization to stay together. Just the same way you are fighting for the USAA to remain intact and whole. So what is your proposal? Are you getting out to form your own organization, or you getting out to find another way, a different avenue to bring the union back together? What's the plan?
You see, Sayapole, I'm not a divider. I don't just activate myself in this process. People reach out to me. They see something in me. They think I can help, and they try to bring me in. Other than that, I spend most of my time with my family, you know, relax and doing my business. And so I came in to help to face this situation. But like I said, the same thing with the SAPO organization. When people are resolved, it's not a whole lot you can do. You know, in conflict resolutions, there are two kind of people, you know, two mindset you're dealing with. The one that is fluid, open, listening, and willing to change and adjust. And there's another mindset that comes in, fixed. The fixed mindset is not a whole lot you can do. And so that's where we find ourselves. We find ourselves dealing with guys who mind is made up. And so what I can do, you know, I talked to Murphy, I talked to all of them, and I said, look, anything we can do to fix this organization, we can fix it. But Murphy is not a good example to be around. Joe Wilson is not a good example to be around. Musa is a great guy. But the fact that he aligned himself with these guys, you understand me, it says a lot about his judgment. You understand me? And so the people decided that, look, they can't continue following these guys. You understand me? They want to form their own organization. Their goal is not political. Murphy has politicized the entire organization. I appealed to him. I spoke to Murphy for 4 hours on the phone, begging him for us to depoliticize the organization. Anything we could do to help him in his political whatever he's trying to do back home, we could do that outside of the organization. And he said no. So what the people decided to do is to form another organization, like what happened with the Sapo, with this Grangider, with the rest of it. Because when you have guys that come into this organization with a different motive that is not in line with the mission and the goal of the organization, you find it hard to convince these guys. You find it hard to fall in line with them. At some point in time, you just have to do things that you didn't plan to do.
Yeah, so Jerry, before we go to that aspect, I want to ask about Musa a little bit. You said Musa is a good guy, but your only fear is his alignment with those guys that you named earlier. So you don't think Musa liaised himself with those guys as a way to get into power and then maybe differentiate himself from them? Because if you want something, it's another thing. If you're a politician, you say you politicize the organization already. So maybe the guy said, oh, these guys, maybe they have power. And the best way you can permeate them is to align yourself with them. When you get what you want now, then you put your own policy in place. You don't think that's the strategy of Willie?
Well, it could be. But Willie was handpicked by Murphy. His vice president was handpicked by Murphy. The entire board members. Now this is
Murphy seems to be the king, though, and you are portraying the guy as a king.
Exactly. And what is even interesting is that the board for any organization is supposed to be independent. But instead, Murphy recruited the board. He populated the entire board with people that he could move around. You understand me? And then they themselves, they're not smart enough to know that, okay, I'm a board member. My job is to advise this body. These guys are actually running campaign and identifying themselves with Musa's team. So I called one of them. I said, look, do you know your job description? Oh, I'm a board member. I said, no. If you knew your job description, you would not be running campaign for Musa. You are a board member. You should be advising the organization. You understand me? So Murphy has turned the entire organization into a political entity. And that's where we find ourselves.
So, but a viewer is asking, what is the Constitution? What is the Constitution saying about the election? What does it say, the Constitution, when it comes to election? What does the Constitution say?
That's a very broad question, very open. What do you mean? The Constitution says a lot about elections, or about what, candidates, or?
Yeah, I think, the question is a little broad, yeah. All right, so Jerry, you're saying, but you don't think you can work with the Musa administration to bring the union back together? Saying you say he's a level-headed guy and he means well. You don't think you can work with him to bring the union back? Because Murphy is no more on the scene. He's a former president now. Or your fear he's still remote controlling the other guys that are in power? Yeah,
and I think they had a discussion before at the president's house, Madam Frances Clark. The guy is not just stepping away. He's not just walking away. I told you before, he's one of those high-called elite politicians, and he insists his way or no other way. You understand me? So Musa is in power for 2 years, and if this guy doesn't get his way, he's going to manipulate the entire Musa government. You understand me? And at the end of the day, he's going to handpick someone to replace Musa in no time. You understand me? I know who I'm talking about. So the best thing we can do to work together, right? I told him, I'm not yet a divide organization. I'm too busy, But if we have to do that, that's what we have to do. So the best thing we can do is that they knew there wasn't any legitimate elections. They did not win. The process never went on. They knew that it wasn't fair. And so what we're saying to them, if they try to reach out to us, as they have been doing, try to reach out to us, that look, let us dissolve whatever happened this gone weekend. Let us set up an independent body. Let us set up an independent committee to audit the last government, and let us go for re-election in like a month or two. If Musa win, I work with Musa. If I win, Musa work with me. Musa works with Dr. Hubbard and myself. I don't want to divide the organization. That's not my plan. In fact, if you listen to the people that follow me, and we had almost 50 people that came to my house that left the convention. And I think when you went back there at the convention hall was almost empty. You understand me? So these people insist to form their own organization. So what I'm telling them is that, look, we should not rush to form our own organization. We should try to stop Murphy. That's it. As long as we can stop Murphy, rescue our organization, we can then, restructure the organization, depoliticize the organization, and then try to, implement our
Jerry,
goals.
how do you hope to depoliticize the organization? What do you plan to do? Because Aristotle said him about nature is a political animal.
Yeah,
so how do you...
yeah, but if the individuals in the organization, it can be political. I have every right to run for whatever political office I want to run for, and I have every right to support Murphy as an individual, right? But what I'm saying is that as an organization, we cannot support. You understand me? Individually, yes, I can leave the organization and go and support whoever I want to support. But we cannot use the organization, you understand me, the entire organization, because the organization, don't forget, it is a non-profit organization. That's the difference between a non-profit organization and a political organization.
Right. So, but Jerry, I'm looking at the statistics here, though. I think you given the numbers that you called to me because the guy won the election just 55 votes.
That's that's some of the manipulation I'm telling you.
So you would have beaten the guy easily. 55 votes, and you say you brought over 300 persons.
Listen, yeah. This guy was caught on a recorder, a 20-minute recorder, right?
Well, you mean this guy? You mean the chairman of the Electoral Commission?
No. This Murphy guy.
Okay.
He's on a 20-minute recorder, right? Telling somebody that there's no way under this sun that we can win him. It's almost like Donald Trump saying that there's no way anybody can beat him. What are you depending on?
Mama, you know there's a fear tactics the guy is on?
No, I'm just telling you that these guys, they didn't have the numbers. But the fact that they're in control of the system, right? Like what they did in Jerry Yokwa's case. Jerry Yokwa registered his people. They did not register their people. So all they had to do was to know how many people I'm bringing, and they just put number to pass my people. So if I brought 200 people, they could say they registered 210 people. If I went to the election, they won. They got the money, they rigged the election. They did similar thing with a quick contest. I know what I'm telling you, Sayapole.
Yeah, but Jerry Ben, a tactician, Ben, somebody with experience from what you allegedly claim that the guys did in the past. I think you should observe that, put some sort of mechanism into place to avoid the reoccurrence of those things that you are talking about. I think you have to have some strategy before you get to running for office.
I did all of that. Number one, I started first by appealing to my team for us to engage, what's his name, the person who was using as guest speaker, Zeze. Zeze is my personal friend. I said, look, let's reach out to Zeze and put somebody complaints in front of Zeze. My team said no. And then after a series of meetings, I came back again. I told them, I said, you know what? Because I knew what was going to be the outcome of the election. So I came back to my team. I said, look, let us reach out to EULA to see if EULA can intervene, because we needed an independent body for redress, for any redress. The organization wouldn't have that. And so that was also turned down. So then I said, you know what? But then let's fight, because they all saw that the election wasn't going well, that the process was all bad. And then I decided, I said, but then if that's the case, then let's file for an injunction, simply for some legal, direction. They said no too. So then I said, but then I'm not going to give my people money to these guys. I'm just going to go to the convention to expose them.
All right, so but Nathaniel was saying, he was asking about, what the Constitution says about removing the current government before election.
It's unconstitutional.
It's not?
It's unconstitutional. It's not in the Constitution.
Okay, so that means you are pursuing an unconstitutional means?
No, I wasn't pursuing that. No, I wasn't pursuing that. It was a convention chairman who came up with that. I had nothing to do with it. Murphy elected the convention, Murphy selected the convention chairman, and the convention chairman thought that by saying this, you will convince us to get us to give them our money. So all the way after was the money. So they would tell us anything to get the money from us. But you cannot remove the president until after the election. We knew that.
Okay, so somebody sent me a message that said, I should ask you, what are you guys, you saw the voters registration before the election?
Yeah, we saw the voters registration before the election, but there was no money to back the registration list.
Well, do you know the estimated number of people you saw on the list?
According to them, it was 103.
According to them, according to you, because you say you saw the list.
Yeah, the list was posted on the wall.
Okay.
And then they told us it was 103, and I saw 103. The problem we had is that I had over 200 people that registered to me, and I had the money on me, but about $30,000. So I took up the money and showed to them. I said, "This is the money for my people, $30,000. Show me the money for your 103." They couldn't show the money.
I'm kind of a little confused though, because when you say registration list, you have to pay the money before you register, right?
Yes.
So who did you guys give the money to?
They set up a deadline, right? It was October 29, 11:59 p.m. Everybody who wanted to participate in that election at the convention will have to pay $150. Both my team and the Woody's team. You understand me? And so after I did my research and I arrived at the conclusion that there's no way we could win these guys because they were in control, and they have done it in the past to Jerry Yokba and other people in the community. They would take their money and face a fake list and tell people that they pay, and they didn't pay a dime. And so I decided, I say, okay, in 11 hours, I told my people, I said, you know what? Everybody, you're paid to me. Let me take the hit. You're paid to me, and let me walk to that convention with the cash money. And if I decide we vote, let me see whether they will not accept our money. And that's just what my people did. Everybody cashed out their money to my bank account. So that Saturday morning when I was calling you, I went to withdraw the money from the bank account. I took the money to the convention. Because after my research, that's what I did to Jerry Yokbo. That's what I did to other guys who paid a high-earned money, come to find out these guys didn't pay a dime, and they declared themselves winner. When people like Jonathan Williams requested for his money because they did not pay, they refused to get. Not only that, Jonathan, who participated in the 20. Look, I did my research before dealing with these guys.
So, but Jerry, assuming the prior administration, you said they took two people money.
Yes.
Did they eat the money, or they undertook projects with the money that they took from the people? What did they do with the money?
That I don't know what they did with the money, but for sure they took the money. Okay. Williams, look, Jonathan Williams, just for a minute. Jonathan Williams registered 6. Let me see. He registered 6 executive members to go to the convention, and he registered 9 board members, right, to go to the convention. Total of 16 people. The total money that he paid to Murphy and his crew were $3,560. You know what they did?
No.
They disqualified. They disqualified 14 of his people that were registered, and said only 2 were qualified. So the guy.
What are the reasons again?
We don't know. They get the same reason with us too. In fact, that was one of the complaints we filed in our position statement. Murphy is saying that in order for you to be qualified to vote, right, you have to be in the organization from the time he came in 2019 to 2021, and you must have dinner with him, you might have gone to party with him. You understand me? Those are the conditions that he said.
Jerry, are you a proper last? Are you exaggerating, or that's why he said?
No, it's true. It's true. Maybe say you might have come to a program with me at least 4 or 5 times. It's written. I can find and send it to you. And you have to be part of the organization, actively part of the organization from 2019, because that's when we started this whole organization.
But Jerry, you guys have a document that governs the organization, which is the Constitution. I mean, what does it say about becoming a bona fide, legitimate, and eligible voter? Though you got to get
simple. It's plain and simple. It's in 2 places. It's in the preamble. It's in the membership section. It says that the organization is available to all the Bomi citizens and friends of Bomi and associates of Bomi that are residing within the United States. You become active member the day you pay your fees. You are a member of the organization. Murphy is saying that in order for you to be active member, you might have been with him when he came and revamped the organization. Other than that, you're not an active member. Yes, the guy who made a list, you call membership list, right? And populated the list with guys that have nothing to do with Bomi. Take, for example, Paul Nipan Jr. You have been around us for a while, so for you, I can consider you. But Paul Nipan Jr. has never come around Bomi people. What's his name is on the list? He's from SINOE. Now, these are the guys that should take my money, $30,000, and lead my people into that trap.
Okay, Jerry. Here's the deal. Though. I mean, guys, if you're joining us, this my special guest, Jerry Massaquoi, is the vice presidential candidate for Bomi County Association in Americas, and we're having a conversation about what went on. So, Jerry, but again, you said the only way you guys can come together is when the Musa government, Willie government is dissolved. You guys go back to the ballot box. Is that correct?
Yes, dissolve Musa government.
So then, would that erase the Murphy's factor?
Yeah, Murphy will no longer be president. He will not have that influence on us. We set up an interim body that will take us to election.
But you earlier told me that if the guy is not there right now, he micromanages everything. So the guys that are in power.
Let me ask you something. If they dissolve the government and we set up an interim body, let's say, for example, we pick you to take us to the convention, will you cheat?
No, I wouldn't cheat.
Okay, thank you. But as long as they're in power, they will manipulate the election.
Okay. Also, right now you're saying, okay, since Willie is not there, you guys should get back to the table again and set up another team.
Yes, set up an independent body. If possible, even bring you in, bring outsiders to take us to the convention, make it independent, make it clear. Now, this guy called himself a politician. That's why he said in a recording when he was talking to somebody about me, he said he's a seasoned politician. There's no way I can beat him in election. Okay, I agree, granted. Then open the process, run campaign nationwide, engage our people, because that's the purpose of a convention, right? To recruit our people, or get more members, right? To bring more members on board, right? So how can you be a politician and you're afraid to do that?
So, but have you reached out to Willie since he won?
No, because no. I mean, your statement is not correct. Why were you just saying he won? He didn't win anything.
Okay. So according to, your statistic here, that's what I'm looking at.
What statistic? I haven't even seen that.
According to your National Election Commission, National Bomi County Association in Americas, that the results here they put out.
Now, those are the guys you wanted me to give my people money to, right? Guys who put result out when there's no election actually went on.
But Jerry, what I'm hearing from you is during the prior election, like you say, I think it was Alan Johnson Sirleaf and George Weah, right? I think they boycotted one of those elections. I think the second round or something.
Right.
And Alan became president. Are you saying the fact that you walked out, does that mean Willie is not president? That's what you're saying?
Willie is not a legitimate president. Anyway, you slack say. I can't remember CDC walking away from any election in Liberia. I know they disagree with election outcome that they participated in. That I know for sure. It's on record. And then at some point in time, people reach out to the then George Weah, current George Weah president, and I think for somewhere in the middle he agreed and reconciled. But like I always say, fruit is fruit, but there's a difference between orange and apple. But they both are fruit, but there's two different fruits. So what happened with the national Liberia elections is far different from what's happening here. Here you have a group of volunteers, you understand me, coming together out of passion to help their people. Nobody getting paid for anything here. I mean, nobody actually getting legitimate power here as compared to back home. And so we have to balance these things when we try to make the comparison, though.
But I think doing the, if you say he didn't win, but during his victory speech, Willie said he's going to set up, I think, a peace outreach committee to reach out to those of you that defected. Are you willing to work with those guys?
We never defected. We walked away from the election that wasn't fair. If Willie reached out to me and willing to meet some of these demands, we'll work together. The same way with the SAPA organization. If Green GDO and the rest of the other guys decide to reach out to you guys and put aside their egos and put the people first, I know you'll be more than happy to work with him, right?
Yeah, but Jerry, I don't know whether it would be fair to Willie, because what I'm hearing from you more so is about Murphy. You know, Murphy is the guy you have a problem with. And Murphy is not there no more. It's Willie. So why don't you allow Willie to exhaust his 2 years and then you guys go back to the electoral box?
How did Willie get into power?
I mean, you through the process, you initially agreed to participate, and then along the line, in the middle of the game, you say it's not fair. Therefore, you're opting out. It wouldn't be fair to Willie as well.
Yeah, but
because he put his resources into it.
Willie being a man of Willie is very religious. Let me put it that way. He's a family man. I met the guy several times. I love his family. I mean, Willie is a great guy. He mean good. But what I'm saying is that Willie has been compromised. The Willie I met years ago is not the same Willie. He's saying he came across this guy. And what I'm saying is that this is not what we need in a community. You know, if we start to sweep this thing under the carpet, these guys can become somebody. Oh, look, if we don't deal with the situation here now, we have to deal with it back home. The goal here is to put Willie in power. This guy goes back home and he micromanage Willie on his side. Whatever money we collect, send it to him. And where we from, people don't look at the people that make the contribution. They look at the people that do the, delivery.
Right.
And so while this guy is running his campaign back home, this guy has every right to run for any political office back home. That's not my point. And I would be more than happy to help him, to work with him. But what I'm saying is that do not use the organization, you understand me, to get to that point. It would not be fair to people who's not supporting you that in the organization. And then you'll be politicizing the organizations, means that everyone who wants to become representative or senators back home have to come through the National Bomi Association, which is supposed to be a non-profit organization. That's the case I'm making.
Okay. So assuming your proposal to come back to the drawing board and bring a neutral team, if Willie does not accept that proposal, I mean, what is your next? What is the way forward? What do you propose? The people should be divided.
That's a big difference between me and a guy or any leader you find around here. I don't impose my will on the people. If you come to one of our meetings, you see issues are put on the floor. The people decide.
Yeah, but Jerry, so you are saying, so you right now you put it on the floor. Have you guys established another organization or not yet?
I reserve my comment on that.
Why?
Because I think we still have time to work things out. It won't take me no time to form another organization if that's what the people want. Okay, we can form a new organization from the ground up, and in no time more people gravitate towards us because people know we mean good. We are not politicians, and we are not working because we want something back tomorrow. If for some reason in the future I decide to be politicians, I will step aside from every non-profit organization, form my own organization and my own movement. And that's what I expect every young man or aspirants to do. If that's not happening, that's in violations of a non-political organization. And if the people want to form a new organization, and if they vote upon it, I mean, full support.
Yeah, Jerry, I think you're good. Again, I've been engaging you for a while. You're a very decent guy, and you have been quite involved in the unification of the Sapo people here. I think it will be a contradiction in your organization for the people to go apart, and you're a peace builder on the side. So my call to you is do what you can do, use your influence, your rhetorical power to unite your people. That's my call. I will highly discourage against forming another organization, even if the people say they want it. The people will want a lot of things. But you, as a leader, you right now, if you establish another organization right now, the people that are egging you on right now, they will not be the one names going. They will say, Jerry divided the Bomi people. That would be on your resume.
Yeah. We have a very good secretary. He documents very well. If you want, we can send you a transcript of what happened in our meeting. They will tell you that out of almost 50 people, I was the only one who was against forming a new organization. It's not that I'm against it, but I felt that the goal is to stop Murphy. But who am I if the people, not only the people that were at my house, but people all over in different states, they are fed up with what's going on. So were you telling me that I should end up being like, what, a dictator?
No, not a dictator. I think you're a well-spoken guy. You just have to make your case to the people. Right now, I think the decision that people are making is emotional. It's emotional. People pay that they flew from out of state and they came and they can cast their ballot freely, stuff. So people they're angry right now. So when the tension dies, I want Jerry to get the stakeholders together and see how we can find a way forward. Again, the people will want a lot of things. They will agitate and they will break stuff. And you, the leader now, you have to make what is the right thing to do in this situation is the question that is facing you right now. What is the right thing to divide your people or to do everything that you can to keep the union together?
No, but that let me say that Sayapole, point of correction. I'm not the current leader. Dr. Sumo Hubbard is our president. I'm just the vice president. In my position, as you know, most vice president they are just ceremonial positions. So the president has the final say, and the president has aligned with the people. And our organization, our body, we are trying to encourage a bottom-up approach to empower the people, to make the people feel inclusive, to make the people that have voice. We're not going to impose our way on the people. But like I said, the president and I, we get along very fine.
Right.
She's a human being. She can always rethink. So what I'm saying, if Musa Willie decides that he's a religious person, I know he has conscience. Whatever we do here, whether Jesus Christ or Muhammad here or not, right? Let us be guided by our conscience. Let us be guided by our conscience. And what is interesting to me is after all of these, and people still complain about government vacuum, this and that, when you're doing the same thing in the local community. So if Musa Willie and his team decide that, look, in all fairness, these things did not go planned, they have conscience, they know that. And they decide they want to come back to the drawing board, remove Murphy from the picture, form an independent council that will take us to the elections. I'll be more than happy. And I guarantee you that all Bomi citizens will be on board. Look, Sayapore, if you notice, we didn't give any platform, we didn't give our money, we didn't do any of that because we knew what the guys were heading to. And there's no way I could give them ideas. You understand me? To say, oh, this is our platform, this is what we want to do, and this and that. Because these are guys who just take it wrong, even though they don't know how to implement those ideas, because you can't give what you don't have. But they could use it, just for publicity, as if to say the main good. So that was one of the reasons why we didn't get platform. But everything we intend to do for our people, we can do it with our new organization. And you see, Sayapore, we don't have to be together to help our people, but being together to help our people is a great idea. If we can do that, why?
I'm looking at the capacity to generate resources when you are together because you have more people on board. Yes. So I want us to discourage this culture of every time we have disagreement, then we want to form our own thing. We can still disagree and still be together. The Republicans and the Democrats here, they're radically, fundamentally different on a lot of things. But they don't talk about dividing America. So you guys can still disagree and still find a way forward to work around your differences. Since you say Musa is a level-headed guy and Mr. Murphy is not on the floor anymore, just my thought, I'm thinking out loud here. Maybe you allow him to exhaust the 2 years, and after that, you'll find a legitimate body or a neutral body to conduct another election, and you just stay on board. That's my point.
Sayapole, division started before, at the very beginning of creation. So people have always walked away. I think, I'm not sure what the Bible says Satan walked away from God or God threw Satan away. But even the Sabo people right now, one group walked away. But besides that, even in religion, the Catholic Church was dominant. Other group walked away.
Jerry, I hate to interrupt you, but those are not good examples.
I know they are not good examples.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is that look, the conditions are set up. The demands are there. The people don't want to be divided. Musa Willie, you are a level-headed guy. You're a religious guy. You believe in God. Be guided by your conscience. You know what happened was in the right thing. Musa is a very good guy. Musa was running NGO even when I was coaching in Trenton. So what you need to do is that you still have people on your side. Come to a clean, free, and fair election. You can still win. You can still win. Dissolve this thing. You know that the whole process was manipulated. You know that it wasn't fair. God help us that we didn't put our money in it. Thank God. Dissolve your government. Call for a peace team. You understand me? We start from there. In 2 months' time, we can have another election. Musa, you win. All through our support behind.
Well, Jerry, I don't know whether that is realistic because right now you're saying the decision to form another organization is the people that are prevailing on you guys. And you ought to understand Musa is also leading a group of people. and they are prevailing on him to say, you got to stay on. And so my thing is, the best panacea to me, according based on my view, is to allow Willie to exhaust his 1 year or 2 years. After that, then you can come and put in the framework that you're talking about. Okay, Murphy is out of the picture. For over the 2 years, you did something right. I think you are heading in the right direction because he sounded good while listening to him. He said you will reach out to the other people. And so based on his performance, you can establish the Independent Electoral Commission and you can have another election.
Sayapole, you were here. The others, including my team with Madam Edith, we worked over 10 months trying to bring peace to a group of people that did not want peace. The thing here is very simple. And I will say it again, and those are our demands. Musa Willie, be guided by your conscience. You knew what happened this weekend, that elections wasn't free and fair, and we're fortunate enough not to put our money in there. Dissolve your government, call for a peace committee, set up an independent body, go for a free, fair elections. And we'll do the work for our Bomi people. It's plain and simple. Anything short of that, I will have to listen to the people.
Oh, wow. Jerry, I mean, I just, for me, honestly, that's my personal view, but hey, you understand the politics or what is going on in your union for sure, but if I were called into anything, I would still find a way for you guys to remain together.
But then why you didn't do that for the type of people? For
me, again, I'm not a neutral person in the organization. Right now, like somebody saying, you got to go negotiate. I'm fully involved in the politics of the organization. So I can, but we tried. That's why we brought people like you in, the neutral people, and yet the guys still remain. So, but in this case, it's not with Musa. I'm not thinking Musa going to pursue the Green Judeo route. I'm not, it's not my heart.
Yeah, but here's the thing here.
Yeah.
The people, I'm just telling you what the people are saying, and I'm going to go by the people. Musa stay in power for 2 years, whether we form another organization or not, the people are going to step aside. Musa is not going to get the support from them. Because the people feel that Murphy is still in power. That's one. That Musa is not a man of himself, or, capable of running an organization all by himself. That I don't know, because I know Musa has ran his own NGO here successfully. And I got respect for the guy. But Sayapole, I go by the people. The people are saying that if we don't form another organization, they're not going to do anything. They're going to lay back. And the people of Bomi cannot afford sitting back. We have serious problem in Bomi. We have serious things to do. I mean, the Bomi I left in the 70s, I went back 2006. It's the same Bomi. Not unlike if you went to the eastern side or to the southeastern side, you see, if you went back there now, you see new things like new development and stuff, right? Bomi is not like that, except for recent time where SINOE went there and started making some serious impact. You understand me? We need the serious people. We need serious movement. You understand me? We need people that will put, people that will take themselves out of the equation. You understand me? These guys get themselves in the equation. You understand? Now, for me personally, Sayapole, I mean, I want to work with the organization, but with the organization or without the organization, I'm still going to work in Bomi. I'm doing my things already. I have my own organizations. I got people working for me in Grand Bassa. You understand me? I mean, I can apply the same strategy in Bomi. You know, but Bomi politics is different from other countries' politics. Some of us are respected more in other settings than in Bomi. You understand me? Because that politics of stepping down on people, stepping on people. If it's not me, then the crab mentality. All these things go on, and it's not only Bomi, it goes on. And so people tend to respect you more when you go into a strange environment than when you go into your own environment. And that's why most of my investment has been out of Bomi. Just recently, I'm trying to work in Bomi. Look at what we run it into.
All right, Jerry. I think you've been on for a while. And I got other things to do. I think we are very good with time. But I think since you have a good relationship with Dr. Sumo, I think you guys try to work out something. Again, you are a young man, a good young man. You have very good mind. the people will say, hey, the Messiah, the Messiah. Then the same people will turn around and say, crucify him. You know, so I want you guys to do that which is in the interest of the county, with having in mind unity to be your first goal, even with your disagreements and stuff like that. Let us work something out. So you can talk to Dr. Sumo. You're working on some sort of deal to keep the people together. What I heard the other day, the people are empowering. You guys are empowering women. I think you're part of the team. You know, because I heard from you when Murphy came on board, you helped to bring some women and people on board. You know, and that's how you were able to maybe fuel the hospitals and help people when there was a storm, empowering women and feeding over 48 towns and those things. I mean, those are good things, helping the hospital. I think when you are together, you have a greater impact versus when you're divided. I don't know what's the strategy for which you guys you want to form another, whether you have the same resources that you have right now when you are together, when you have another organization. I'm not too sure.
Yes, I put it. I think Bomi is not the only first organization that will be divided. That's not my goal, and that's not my first option. You know, I hope we can resolve this, but you know, Musa has his positions. The people on the other side have their positions. Some point in time, someone has to compromise. Is he willing to compromise as a leader? We are willing to compromise. But are they willing to?
All right, Jerry, thank you so much, man. Let me let you go. I think my next move is to reach out to Willie and see what he has to say. You know, I want to hear his perspective. Right now, he is in the driver's seat. You know, Murphy is not there no more. So I want to say thank you so much for joining us. If you have closing or parting comments for us, I will highly appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanted to take this time to say thank you to all of my SAPO friends that actually believe in us when we were running this campaign. To all of my people from Bomi and my family, thank you for standing by us. But the quest to serve our people back home has not ended. We all are still working on it, and I, for one, I'm hoping that we'll still united. And if that be, then so. If not, then we have to do what we have to do. I pray that the best thing happen for Bomi.
All right, Jerry, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I wish Bomi County the best, man. I want you guys to stay together. We don't want to be the case of USA. All right, man. I'll see you later somewhere in the community pretty soon.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right. Let me see.
Okay.
All right, guys, that's my special guest, Jerry Massaquoi, in the state of Bomi County Association. Things are going on. I don't know, division, commotion is just propagating through our various organizations, which I think is not a good thing. All right. But again, before we let you go, let us recap, okay? Let us recap something that I said before. Just for a reminder, again, save the date. The national president of our union inauguration will be March the 5th, 2022. You got to save the date, all right? And then the 14th, all right? Today is the 4th or 3rd, okay? Today the 3rd, right? So on the 14th, the national president of the United Support Association, President Francis Clark Myers, will be on the platform the first time since she was elected as a national president. And so I'm told she will be here with some cabinet members to put things in perspective, to reassure the union that she is doing everything to bring us on a one umbrella. You know, so join us the 14th, November 14th. Is that Sunday? One of them. Sunday? Yeah, I think it'll be on a Sunday. Join Voice of SINOE. We'll be repeating this information so that you can know. The lady will be here. We'll be touching on an array of issues. What is going on? What is she doing? Helping our people with respect to helping our people in Liberia. What is her plan with respect to the conflict in the union. What is she doing with respect to getting our 90,000 plus back, from people that seized the money and stuff, or I don't know whether they seized it or they ate the money. I don't know, So we want to hear from President Myers. When trouble is in the land, the leader got to speak. And so we want to hear from the president. Trouble is in the land, and what is she doing, or what she plans to do to mitigate, if not eradicate, the problem or trouble in the land. All right, so President Myers will be on the platform here to have a great, wonderful. She comes with wisdom, okay, and so you will get wisdom from President Myers and her team, and I have a whole list of questions right now to pepper her. But sometimes, maybe with the exception of Jerry and other people, President Myers and other people, I would maybe try to talk to them and give them an idea what we'll be talking about. But President Myers, no. I can just bring her voices and prepare her with questions. And she will perform magnificently. So and that's the same thing she's going to be doing on the 14th. Also lock that day in. So that you will know what is going on, what the plan of the president is. All right. But in the meantime, again, be reminded on the 23rd of this month, the embezzlers, so the people that took our money, that stole our money, the first court hearing will be going on the 23rd of this month. All right. The peace deal the other day that Mana Ross was pursuing, I'm quite sure is over, because their spokesman came on Facebook and said no more peace. So we are going through the court process. They wanted us to take the case from court, but they don't want to give the money. And so the demand of the people, not the board, not the executive, the people, because the people, when we call the people, we're talking about the General Assembly. So when we went to Florida, the people gave the executive and the board of directors a specific mandate. And that mandate, let me not say A, they gave us several mandates, two of which are, number one, to make sure if those people will stay on their own, they should not use the USAA name. Number two, the people mandated the board of directors and the executive to retrieve our assets in the possession of Green Coast Deal. And that includes our money and any paperwork he has. Anything that has to do with the USAA, the people, the General Assembly said they should pursue it to get it from Green. Because the people gave their mandate to Green, and they took their mandate from him now, and they gave a mandate to Francis Clark Myers. And so everything now has to be in the possession of Francis Clark Myers. It cannot be like before, when Obako was the president, he was in charge of everything. And then he left, he turned over because the people gave that mandate to Green. All right, so Obako went to turn everything over to Green. Now that Green is no longer the president, the people are saying now, gave everything over to Francis Clark Myers. She is our president. And Green said, no, I'm not doing it, because the regime is what we call the rogue regime. Yeah, the rogue regime is not legitimate, okay? They are doing everything wrong, and the people say, we don't want you anymore. And you say, oh, I'm the HR, I'm the president. I declare my own convention, even though there is nothing in the Constitution that gives him that right to do so, because he's angry. He greed, the power greed. The brother so greedy for power, so he has to stay in power. And so he's saying, I declare my own convention. When I listened to the presentation of the Bomi County outgoing President Murphy, he said during the COVID virus, because of the COVID, the board extended his term. There was no argument. They extended his tenure. In the case of Green Coast, the board said, okay, Green will work on the hour. You Green say, I'm not listening to you guys, because I am the supreme leader of the Sabo people. I am a dictator, a despot, a tyrant, a totalitarian. So say one, so say all. Whatever I say, what should go. So Green contradicted what other people are doing. All right. And so now you say, I'm the president, I am corrupt, I took the people money, and I'm not going away. The people giving $10,000 to feed the people are not getting the money to them. The people gave me 12 students to put on scholarship, I reduced it to 6. And the 6, I still don't get the people scholarship. All right. And so I'm still the president. And so now I will declare my own convention in Minnesota. And after the convention, during the process, all the people, my cabinet members, they will be family members. Okay. I will bring Dave Cooley, who also is corrupt. All right. I will bring Dave Cooley, who took $45,900 and put it in your pocket and put it in the United Support Association account, and he turns around and says, it's not for the organization. All right. He put it down. So the guy who is corrupt too will be my vice president. So we can run a corrupt empire. That's Graham's vice president, embezzlement slave there. $45,900 that Dave Cooley took from our account. All right. So all of them, they are corrupt. They're sending the money to different people. He will sell himself, he sell Anthony Toy, sell his girlfriends and everything else. He just send the money all over the place. All right. So the administration of Green Coach is corrupt, and the people say you'll get all our resources from them. All right. St. Green took our $90,000 and because he wants to eat the money, and that's why he took the money for $50,000, $40,000, and those things. Some people say, but the Bomi County too. But the people don't eat the poor money. Jerry did not say, oh, the poor ate money. Yeah, our kids, the man just go in the account and just loot it. Over here, $2,500. He went back, $2,000. He went back again, $7,236.28. He went back again, $90,000. It is not the case with the Bomi County. All right. So don't make that comparison. You can't have an administration where practically from top to bottom, all of them corrupt. The president, Green Coach Dio, is corrupt. The vice president, Dave Cooley, is corrupt. The financial secretary is corrupt, and he is on the run right now. They want to serve him his citation to go to court. The man is on the run. We don't know where he lives. The man left Green Standing. The treasurer is corrupt. So the whole team of the man is corrupt, and so we are in court. All right, so guys, that's it. Let's voice a SINOE in the diaspora. We'll talk to you again. We're having other guests coming up pretty soon, and keep following the show. Let me see the comments here. Mr. Manitz, thanks for following the show. My man Nathaniel, thanks for following the show. Abraham, thanks for following the show. Madam Massaquoi, thanks for following the show as well. Your husband did well. Happy birthday, Madam Poa, thanks for following the show. All right, so we have other things coming on the platform. For more videos and stuff, follow us on YouTube as well. Subscribe to our YouTube page, Madison Freeman on YouTube, and you'll see tons of wonderful videos. We are about to start a new segment, what we call navigating the streets of Philadelphia. So we'll be taking on the street, and we'll be having all the controversial questions and be asking people. We'll bring those videos and all load them on our YouTube page. And so you have to follow Voice of SINOE. All right. Have a good day. And how we end the show, right? The culture and the tradition already. So we can say when we're leaving, it said we are in a strange land. We are in a foreign land. All the bad things we did before, let abandon them. Let us unite. Brothers and sisters can fight in a strange land. And so when we say the Queen of Traditional Mutual will say, Asa Blende. You know what I'm saying? Let's change the way we do things. All right? Confusion, forcing, stealing, those things don't unite people. So, Asa Blende, do the right thing for once. I'm speaking about Green Coach Julio, I'm speaking about my organization, I'm not speaking about other people. But if something, your organization out there, you want to divide, I will not encourage that. You go through your differences. You argue the issue out and still find a ground to work on. But in our case, we have somebody who is unreasonable. A man is beyond reason. So you bring all the reasons, all the proposals because he believes in so say one, so say all. Whatever he says, everybody should do it. If you disagree with him, it's a problem, And that kind of people, that kind of man, we have to fight him. They are using that word fight deliberately. We'll make sure Green goes to jail. We'll make sure Dave Kuri goes to jail. We'll make sure Darius goes to jail. We'll make sure that someone goes to jail because these people, they are not doing things right. We have to set example so that moving forward, when somebody is thinking about corruption, they're thinking about dividing our people without good reason. People are suffering by home. You're not giving people scholarship. You're not feeding the people, and then you turn around and say, "Oh, I'm building my own palava hut. I'm building palava hut in my town first, and I'll go in the board chairman, my board chairman town, and build another palava hut. That's what the people need." Stop making mockery of our people. That's not what our people need. Our people are not going around thinking about palava hut and town halls. They want their children to be ministers, doctors, presidents, engineers, scientists, philosophers. And so they want their children to go to school and not build a palava hut for them. And you say that what the people want. No, it's what you want. You are building your own property. You are doing your own thing. And so you say, you know what? Since the board chairman is not from a single place, since the president is not from the single people are without doing nothing for them. And so we told you initially we are only taking 3 projects, but now we are not doing it anymore because you are not participating. You are not part of us. The money you pay during my convention is for us. All right? It's for us. And because after all, the single guys that were in the Minnesota chapter, they resign. And so all the other single people that pay their money, we don't get time for them because of the other people that resign. All right? They are not plenty anyway. I was hearing the people, they were talking about interest. The people say, these guys are so savage. They say it's a political interest. When you have more group people supporting you, that place you should focus. And so the people that are supporting Green, that are supporting the man, listen to one of them, what they say.
And see me advocating for my national president, for my cabinet president. And see me advocating for my national president, for my cabinet president.
All right, so they don't see Green as the national president of the Sample Association. They see the man as the cabinet president. They should use the possessive pronoun. My president, my cabinet president. All right, and so that's how the people see Green, and that's why we have all the issues in the union. All right. My cabinet president, my president, my cabinet president. So the cabinet man say, I have to build my own town in my own town. Well, in contrast to what Murphy did, the Bomi County Association, when they were doing that distribution, this guy right here, he said, no, we are not going in my town. We are not going the chairman of the board town. We are going to other towns first. But in our case, our men say, the people say, my man, you're the cabinet president, So the first thing you do, cabinet man, is to take on a cabinet project.
And see me advocating for my national president, for my cabinet president. I hear from.
So she hear from cabinet. The president from cabinet. I hear from cabinet. I'm a cabinet woman, so I supporting my cabinet president. And so we have all the problems because they don't see Green as the national president of everybody, the 6 sessions of the Sapa people. They see the man as cabinet president, my president. I'm from cabinet, Green is from cabinet, so everything will be in cabinet. And everything will be in the board chairman and Ross's town. That's why that the board chairman and the single people, we don't get time for them. They will build their own palava hut. All right? Yes, y'all go support Green. I'm out for the day, guys. All right, now the cabinet president. I didn't say that. Yeah, I did not say that. The guy will disrespect practically everybody. Listen to the other video here. Let me play the video before I go. The woman was giving the guy good advice. And hear what you say to the woman at the end of the day.
Okay, I did it. I've got idea about boy. Monsieur vous pas on les. Pourquoi vous en mess with?
That's going there. That's the gratitude that Green has for the woman. After the woman say, "Oh, that thing, God should be with you, my son." When you are leading people, open your heart. Don't be selfish. When you get money, don't make yourself uptight. The woman say, "Oh, the nice thing, you guys, you belong together. That's why you are together." And so listen to other people's views. All the nice thing the woman said to Green. At the end of the day, Green told the woman, all the other people say, Don't be witchcraft. Don't play witch. When you play witch, you will die. Now, what the guy told the people? I was like, what? That woman just said that beautiful thing. Wanted to return insult to the woman. The mentor insulted the woman or the whole group. And then somebody came from the group and said, no, I said, would you? We don't know witch. We don't know no witchcraft activities. We are not witchcraft. We are not wizards. You know, so they had to rebut Green. You know what the woman said? That's your rudeness. I'm not going to allow you to go. Now, what the woman was saying, in other words, no, I said, we don't know. We are not witches. We are not wizards here. So don't disrespect us. Now, what the woman was saying, in other words, that your rudeness you brought from America, and the woman prayed for you, and you were telling her about Upuel, you shouldn't be witchcraft. You shouldn't do anything you usually. Now, what Green was saying, in other words, because every time the man afraid or wish our people won't kill him. So somebody will be nice to him, and you will see it the opposite way. So he said, about Upuel, you won't power a male. When you play witch, you will down. Don't go into witchcraft activities. How is that statement genuine? How is that apropos to what the woman said? It was totally out of whack what Green said to that woman. It was total rudeness. That was total insolence, rudeness. It was impudent on the part of Green to have said that to our mother, who said, Green, open your heart to people. Be nice to people. Know how to talk to people. Be generous. Listen to people when you are a leader. God be with you. God will give you long life. Green feeling now and turn around and tell the woman, say, when you play witch, you will down. Anybody, any of you that play witch, you don't live long. That man can be treated people. The man people following. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. So, as I blended, change your way of doing things. Tell Green to change your way. I'm out for that.
I get to I'm on terrible in terrible. I'm on terrible. I said I get it.
Yeah, we are family. We are not here to force. No, we are in a strange land. One day we'll go home. So let's remain united. So tomorrow we'll go back home. We'll remain united. All right, guys, I'm out for the day.